Welcome back. Now let us talk about private method in Python. We have already talked about private attributes, that is, I try to use double underscore before an attribute. But one of the most common question is we use double underscore to make something private. We also use some single underscore. So what are these underscore? So I need to talk about convention. So single underscore whenever we use, that means it's partially private. So it is just for the sake of developer. That means it can be understood by someone who is checking out the code. But you can access this particular y value easily. That's why I have already said that this particular y value is partially private. So if I try to print the value of y here, you can see I was able to access that. So I can access x, I can access y, but I cannot access z. Because of that we were using get function in the last video. Now let us talk about private method. So similarly we were creating double underscore for an attribute, we will be using double underscore for a function name, and that function will be of course a private function. So let me print out these values in a private function first. Remove this one. So I'm creating a public method and I'm just naming it up as public method. You can use any name, there is no restriction, and these name means nothing. It is according to your ease of working. So I'm using public method as my name. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to print these three values. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm creating a private method, and in which I'm also going to print certain values. But I need to check out, can we access the private method outside my class, and will private method is going to execute successfully? Let us do that also. Now I've created my private method. All I have to do is just call my public method and private method and look out for my output. And let me use my object and then call the public method. You can also see in my IntelliSense I was not able to get my private method. You can see I have access of public method, I have access of x and underscore y. So let me call out my private method. Let me run this one. You can see with public method I got my 10, 50 and 100 after calling this particular public method. And when I called my private method, I got an error that my example object has no attribute regarding private method. So that's fine. We already know that we cannot access this. But to access my private method, all I have to do is call my private method inside my function. So if I try to call my private method here, so all I have to do is use self, double underscore, and then my private method. So I can call any of my private member, that is my private attribute or private method, inside my class. So here I am calling this. Let me clear this one and also let me comment this out. Now if I run, you can see I was able to access 10, 50, 100, and then I was able to get the value of my private method. So you can create a getter for your private method also. So now you might be thinking that why we are using private method. So these are some certain small example, but when we are going to work with some banking system or maybe some management system, or maybe you are going to create some basic ERP about attendance, or maybe a e-commerce that use some discount coupon, or maybe something like balance. So at that point of time you have to create certain entities which should not be get modified with users or with anyone else who don't have this access. So you need to restrict some things. At that particular point of time, we use these private entities. So I hope now you understand regarding private method and also how to call them. You can just use anything that is private inside your class. So there are several ways that you can get access inside your class. I hope you understand regarding private method. In the next lecture, we are going to talk about a new pillar of OOPS, that is inheritance. So see you in the next one.